Yo, what up? This is One Pop Podcast. It's your boy Donville on episode 39. We are back.
Yeah, it's your boy Dennis.
Trev.
Your boy Cian. There, my lad. You know, come to the end of Black History Month. I want to give a shout out to all the young and old Black pioneers out there. You know what I mean? Getting it done, showing inspiration for their culture. You know, I want to give a shout out to the culture for real. It's been an amazing week. We have some news we want to go about, but I guess I might have Trevor start with the news this week.
All right, story time. Gather around.
Story time.
Stupid.
That's my thing right there. All right, go.
All right, so
we need a clip for that. That would be like an intro clip, like story time.
you might as well make one. We got enough kids between us.
For real.
That's true. Oh yeah. So where to start? Okay.
At the beginning.
Yeah, for real, Trevor. Trevor, matter of fact, I want you to start where it all started.
Yes.
Take us on that journey.
What? Let me give you kind of interesting intro to this. About 10 years ago, I had a dream that I was in the body of someone I was going to marry.
Wait, what?
I was like
You was smashing?
No,
the man said married
In
by
the body.
Yo, he said in the body.
Yeah, I was
like
in
inner body experience.
Inner body experience of
Okay,
someone
see,
else.
you gotta say the whole thing. You said
really
in
don't.
the body.
No, you just went there.
What other places I have to go?
Not in a dirty way.
Then it was like I was digging.
Oh, okay.
I was
maybe.
digging.
All right, never mind.
I was
Y'all trying to make me look bad.
Anyway, it was an inner body experience. I was in the body of someone I was going to marry.
Okay.
They were walking towards this was in, like, the house was actually the house I first lived here in, right?
Okay.
And walked into, which was my mother's room, and there was people there helping the lady get dressed and put on the outfit, put on the gown, put on the makeup or whatever. Then the person turned towards the mirror, and I got to see exactly who she looks like. Right?
Oh, wow.
And it was like, okay, never met, and this is 10 years ago. Never met this person in my life. I don't know who this is. Right? So
goosebumps.
A good 9 years later, I met this lovely lady named Tatiana Reed. Right?
Yo.
Sorry, I'm putting the government out there.
We're
We're going to blur that out.
We met through a coworker of ours that kind of looked out for me a lot. She gave me some good wisdom, and I help her out when I can and whatever.
Yes.
And a traditional Jamaican lady, she came up and approached me saying, "Hey, what do you think about blind dates?" I'm like, where who? You gotta
Defeats the purpose of the blind date.
Yeah, I don't trust.
Sometimes you be getting to that blind date and realize you still blind, dog.
So I'm like, all right, who? And the lady pointed out. Oh, shout out to Miss Bree. I'm gonna say who it is.
Amy, Miss
because
Bree.
I don't know if she ever gonna listen to the podcast.
Government.
Yeah, no,
Bree.
Miss Bree, dog.
Miss Bree. That's the
No,
nickname.
technically that's not a real name. Either.
No, we're gonna keep it right
Yeah.
there. We're gonna keep it right here.
She said who it was, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's cute, but I thought she was too young, and I'm thinking, yeah, the age difference would be a big problem.
I want to say this, not to cut you. Age is just a number.
Yo,
You know?
listen, Miss Bree said the same thing too.
R. Kelly said that and realized.
Well, that's a
where he's
going right now.
I have to clarify that you cannot say age is a number. There are people going to jail for it right now.
No, well, Dennis is saying that, but in the retrospect, when we say age is not a number, because none of us who's part of this podcast is an 18-year-old.
Right.
Feel me?
Yeah. Right.
And we normally know when you hit a certain gap, they look at 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds as still being young. So that's how that concept was like 18 is just a number, because I do understand why people say that, because sometimes it takes time for people to mature.
Right.
But for me personally, what I've came to experience is that women mature way faster than guys do, especially mentally. So for when you look at a girl who's 18 years old mentally, they're normally a little bit ahead. So their 18 is more like a 21. You know,
I would also add to that is because we say that a lot as far as women being ahead of men. You also got to know yourself.
Yes.
As far as there's two different things as far as understanding how to function as an adult and then actually knowing yourself. I think it's actually more important for a woman to know herself at a young age if she's going to be in a relationship with an older guy.
All right, beautiful cut. All right, finish it.
Thank you, Dennis.
So, well, Miss Bree did say to me, "What are you, 50?"
you know what I'm saying?
That's true. Still, you were under 30 at the time, right?
Yeah, no, I was 30, but it was like
30, yeah.
whatever. Like she was 22. She was 22, so it's not like a big difference.
She wasn't 18.
Yeah,
Let's get that clear.
She was 22. We in room 222. That's
Wait, what?
That's that Rick Ross.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Every day I'm hustling.
I'm gonna need you to take that hat off.
Cut. Back to Trevor.
All right, so all right, and she gave me the number. In the beginning, I didn't call because I want to have the interaction myself.
Yeah.
Did you know who it was?
Being a
first?
setup.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you made it look like she just gave you a number like, here, call this.
Yeah, I know. No, she pointed out, and Tati was cool with me receiving the number. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Situations with right in our
Think that was in a higher key, Dennis?
About it.
All right, cut, Trev.
Trevor, gonna be a lot of cuts in this episode.
No, it's cool.
You don't have to call. It's okay, girl. Cause I'ma be alright tonight.
That's right.
Hey. All right. But Trevor did call. Okay,
So I didn't call. And right. Then I went to hang out with one of my homeboys. Shout out to Hassan in Austin, Texas.
Yo,
right?
I got a bone to pick with that one when you're done.
Yeah, let's not start.
Go.
Okay. So
In Texas.
and I hope you listening too.
yeah, I gotta send him the link to it. But anyway, so I came back and it was time for me to train Tati, and we got
train? What?
Yeah, because I was a trainer.
Yeah, no, but
I'm a trainer at work.
You said I'm inappropriate. Look at your friends over here. I did not go that far.
It sounded real off, Trevor.
My
You said it.
bad.
I'm like, what?
We are workers.
You have to demonstrate to her how to perform her abilities at work. Sir.
Her duties at work.
Even
at
that
work.
felt weird.
Yes.
Anyway,
You know you have solid friends when you gotta watch what you say, dog.
yeah.
I'm telling you.
So, okay, it was time for me to train her in our process at work. Okay,
Yes.
clear. So, while we're talking, I got to know her. We became friends.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We talk all the day, every day. Then I brought her to Bible study at work.
Yes.
And it was amazing. She loved it. She hasn't been to church in a while, so she's feeling renewed after the Bible study.
Yeah.
Moments after the Bible study, she got a call from one of her family members that her mom passed out, fainted, and is being rushed to the hospital. Right? So she's in a panic. She's worrying. I try to keep her calm and say, hey, gather yourself together. Head home. Don't worry about stuff here. We'll take care of it. Just head home.
Right.
Right?
Always get done.
Boss moves.
But also, remember, I had her number.
Yes.
So I text her to make sure she's straight. I say,
Yes.
hey, how's everything? How's your mom doing? Because also, my mom went through something similar last year, too.
Yes.
So I had to keep her calm because I know how the feeling is that your mother is going through something.
Yeah.
I kept on texting her. Then she's doing better. We didn't see her for a good few days because, you know, she's making sure her mom's straight.
Yes.
Right? So, but I kept, every day I just sent a message, say, hey, I'm just making sure you're okay and making sure your mom okay or whatever. Right? She very much appreciated that. I kept checking on her and all of that. Then, the check-in texting went to, hey, how you doing texting? Oh, laugh at this texting. Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? All this kind of other kind of texting, right?
Yeah.
It was more of a friend vibe text. Came to work. We became closer and closer. Then we started realizing, we really like each other, right? So, fast forward to our first date.
I I remember that day. Trevor was looking all suave and everything.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, boy got a whole new outfit.
Yeah, look like
super
boy wonder.
cologne,
Yeah.
yo.
No,
He got like the haircut with the edge up where they use the razor and all that.
Okay, super
They'll
clean.
busted out the
Only way I
bevel
get
and everything. Like
I don't want to say this.
he was crisp.
Before Trevor continued, Trevor said some important things right there. Trevor said that he made sure that they were friends first.
Right.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that's missing in a lot of relationship. And I'm just throwing it out there because I'm happy you bring it up.
Right.
Because if your significant other is not your friend, I don't think no woman, no woman just wants to be a wife.
Right.
Your wife is supposed to be more than just your wife.
Right.
It's supposed to be your confidant, your best friend.
Yeah, best
You feel what I'm saying? Your partner in crime. So I'm happy that you guys crossed those trenches before you decide, you know what? We're going to move forward with continue from the story in the first date.
All right. So, mind you, right before the first date, God was talking to me saying, hey, you remember that dream I sent you over like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Wow.
And
so
I
before the
remembered
first date,
a good 10 years prior.
it came to your recollection. It was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah, that was the one who I was embodied of. The same curly hair, same glasses.
Wow.
It was just like freaky out. It just freaked me out, right?
Yeah.
First date was amazing. It was amazing. I don't want to go into detail, but it was the best date I have ever been on.
Sure, so nobody's stealing my first date endeavor, dog. Make your own.
Yeah.
Those are classified.
And you know what was funny? It was after the first day, we met up and talked, and she tried to curve me because she was thinking she don't want to rush into it because she came out of bad past, and she don't want to.
She tried to curve King Curve.
That's what it was. He know the angles. So
You can't curve the avatar, dog.
Trevor was like, you pulling that airbender? Hold on.
So I would be like, yo, you were a great friend.
Yeah, she's saying all them attacks, and I'm like, cute. Anyway, I'm still gonna try.
I've tried that already.
Hey, bestie.
Like, she tried to do all that, but I still was there. I still was persistent or trying to get to know her.
As like, hey, I'm already your friend. We're trying to.
Yeah,
Trevor was like, I just dig up my inner yard, man, dog. When you said no? No.
What weird?
All right, dog.
Wet. Is that like a Jamaican Trey song? We need that soundbite, Trev.
So, it went like a good month. We was getting close, and we started. She tried. I'll let y'all know. She tried twice to say, you know what? No, we can't do this. We just stay friends. Blah blah. I'm like, haha, nah.
Real funny.
No, that's cute. Yeah. Anyway, so and so. Right. Then we made it official October 4th.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So 10-4. I will always remember 10-4.
10-4.
Right. So. For the next 4 months, it's been amazing. I fell in love. Me and her became best friends. We talked about futures, and you know, when you talk about futures with other people, you're thinking, yeah, possible, but this one more felt like, yo, this is factual. We're saying,
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, usually, sorry to cut you off, but like, whenever you get into that situation where somebody starts spitting that type of stuff, and half of the time I call it nonsense, that's when you know exactly how you feel about a person. Because I had some of that conversation come my way, and the first thing, like, without even thinking about it, I just go like, just like that, and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's confirmation right there.
I want to say this. When somebody start making talks of long-term plans, you're basically saying that I can see myself with you during this period. So if we're talking about 2-3 years down the road, that means you're looking for more than just, a weekend hangout, or we just hang out this day. You're really looking forward to be hanging out with me next year. You know, and it's a lot, and I can say that those are things I've learned through age. It's not something that I can say I acquire, right? In the beginning, but I've learned that through age, because I can say this. Me and the wife made plans, right? And it shows that because you made these plans together, you're gonna try what you tried everything in your effort to make some of these plans happen.
Right.
So for the fact that you guys are planning is, I'm gonna say, Trevor, taking excellent steps. Continue.
And I would say, just to add on to that, you know, as men, we plan things out.
Yes.
And the fact that you're planning this with someone else and they're agreeing, you know, it's really important that you're on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, like Dennis said, if you're not on the same page, you're gonna get that check. Like, hold up, I'm not really, I'm not going there with you. You know,
and that's the thing. And like sometimes, like you'll think that you are, but it'll be that one thing that they say or somebody says that will trigger that for you.
But here's
and you'll be like, you know what? I'm looking at this from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: like when you're planning, like nothing's solid. Like you're actually planning. You're actually willing that thing into existence at that point. So it's important when both of you guys are working on that. Like the same thing with me and my wife. Like we plan things. Did we know how we're going to get there to that point? No. But we planned together and we said, you know what, this is possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So continue.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So it was a good, let's say 4 months, right? And you know, God talks to me through my dreams.
Yeah.
And I had another dream that me and her was walking into a Bible study church. It was more not like a traditional church building, but it was kind of just, I could tell some spiritual was going on inside.
Yeah.
And there was a group gathered there and everyone knew that, hey, you want to marry her. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. And so they say, all right, you just got to ask permission. And they say, basically asking God permission to marry her.
That's right.
So in the dream, I went straight to praying,
Yes.
saying, Lord, please grant us. I can't remember exactly what
That's
I said,
fine.
but it was
between you and the Lord, Trevor.
yeah.
You and the Lord.
And even the atmosphere in the dream changed because he could tell it was official yes, right?
Wow.
Yes.
So fast forward to after we had to do a baby shower. Shout out to Lainey. We had to do a baby shower for baby Lila,
Yes.
and
See,
we met up with your mom actually, and your mom technically prophesied saying we are meant to marry. I need to go ask her before the end of the month.
This is all in the dream.
No, this is real life now.
Wow.
Dennis, you know my mother dog. She don't play. My mom looked at me and she was like, "Yo, Trevor, don't shoot that dog. Somebody gonna shoot it for
She
it."
said that to me a couple of times, and I was like, I don't know about that, dog.
But see, the thing is, like, you gotta, when God tells you something,
Yeah.
it's not just say, oh, maybe this, maybe that. You gotta actually.
You got to remember, God doesn't push you to do something. He says,
Yeah.
like, hey, go do this.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, he ain't going to be here, like, trying to pick you up and make you do it. Like,
Right.
it's time for you to act.
Right.
I don't know. Like, it's just, I guess it's just me. It's like when it comes to stuff like that, or matters of the heart, at least, like, I understand like the whole perspective of, you know, having the Heavenly Father involved and stuff like that. But when it's like other people that are like kicking it in that direction, it kind of makes me throw up a wall. You feel me? Like,
You gotta
it
discern the
removes
spirit.
the fact of it being at your own pace. You feel me? Because then you got all those people like, hey.
Well, that's the thing when I say you gotta discern the spirit, like,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
so then here's
you gotta
something.
tell
I like that stuff separate.
Yeah, you gotta be able to tell if somebody's coming from a spiritual aspect or not just a carnal. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
you need to
What y'all waiting for?
shoot the club up. You know?
Yeah.
The club up.
But this one was definitely a spiritual.
It's like, oh, y'all look
level.
cute together.
No, but I'm gonna tell you something.
And then you just look over.
Away from Trevor listening to anybody, Trevor said something again that was important.
Yes.
Because I know my mom told him that before. I'm not sure if that's before or after you had the dream and you went down on your knees and prayed. Again, when you said that, you know, you got the confirmation in your dream, and then you took it to the Lord. So it's away from my mom saying it, especially if it did happen before, and you made that prayer, and then you hear somebody who you think is spiritual saying it to you, then it speaks to you more like, yo, I prayed on this.
Yeah.
So if I prayed on this and then I'm getting this from somebody
There's
else,
confirmation
then
in
it's
that.
confirmation.
Yeah.
If you didn't pray on it and it's happened, that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
Definitely.
And mind you, also, I had to rewind a little bit. Like a good month into us being together, she did something amazing for me, and I said, "Wow, you did that for me?" And she was like, "Yeah, because I'm your rib." And I'm like,
Ooh.
I just never.
Pimping ain't
And you know
easy.
when someone say
Wet. Sorry.
What?
Yo, you don't understand. You don't understand like that. Yo,
Why would you say wet, though?
Let me explain. Y'all always trying to attack me. Stop attacking me.
Can we
Stop
go for
attacking
the
me.
explanations?
No, let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Let him explain.
Let me talk.
God.
All right. Anyways, after this personal attack, once again, right on time. Where are we at? 22 minutes and 32. I'm gonna start calling the time mark every single time.
All right, explain wet, please.
And I want a sound for that too. Anyways, basically, the reason I said that, one, I'm from the hood. We do that. But it's one of those things that if I would have heard that, like coming from my partner or something like that. No, you're not letting me finish.
Go ahead, Dennis. Please.
Go ahead.
It is one of those mentally.
Diamond some.
I'm not gonna
Go
say it.
ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all look
Sorry,
spitting.
Dennis,
I want to get the correlation between wet and
You cut
rinse.
me off.
Dennis,
Oh my God.
I was saying dripping. That was a song. But I'm just saying
Cardi
continue.
B.
Cardi B, bro.
Can I?
Yeah.
You sure?
Continue.
You gonna be
All right.
quiet?
Please continue.
All right, thank you.
Jeez, yo.
So basically, what I'm saying, you know how you have people that said they want to be stimulated mentally and stuff like that. You want to actually feel what the person is what they're saying to you, like when it hits you and stuff like that. If you're with your partner and your partner says something like that, it not only hits you through the ear on a mental level, that's the type of statement that touches your soul, dog.
Okay.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's how
that is deep.
Yes.
That is
that's how I felt.
real unconditional feeling
I'm just
behind a
saying
statement
that's
like that.
one word. Wow.
I
It's
agree.
not like
I agree with you.
oh that's cool because
Yeah.
it's not saying of course I'll do that because we're together and stuff like that. Oh, that's cool. Nah, she says she's your rib.
Yeah.
Yo,
dripping.
that's passion. There's nothing but love behind that one, dog.
Yeah.
Hence, wet. Okay, that's my statement.
Leave it. Red word.
Don't ever look at my eyes and see him say wet.
Listen,
You dripping.
drip. Yeah, what? How come it can't mean tears of joy?
That goes into guy code territory.
How come it can't mean that like that?
That's right.
Watch this.
Right.
Watch this.
That's right.
Cien. Wet.
Yes.
Cien looked away from me.
Yeah, that's right.
He can't receive that.
Right. That's
I
right.
can't receive that, Dennis. You can't look at me and say wet.
No, but Dennis,
I mean, it won't mean anything.
Dennis, I understand. Dennis, I'm gonna tell you. So
We got you.
I understand
We
what
got
you
you.
say. I just think the metaphor was a little bit.
How?
Was a little bit.
Explain. No, hold on, Trev. Explain to me how. I'll explain. Explain to me
I'm
how.
gonna tell you the reason why. I can speak for.
Remember,
Trevor.
we're on PG-13.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Oh, we gonna keep it PG. Let's go.
I can't speak for Trevor, and I can't speak for David. I can't
All right.
speak for you, Dennis. But whenever I hear the word wet, I think about coming through dripping.
So you drip.
Well, if
Wait,
See, no, I'm not. I'm trying to clarify something. I'm trying to clarify something. How would it pertain to you exactly
because
as a male?
Because as you being the guy and you're using the term wet, that should have been something for her to say. A guy doesn't get wet.
Like I said before, how do you know?
I don't think I can go any
Isn't that literally what I just said earlier? Why can't it mean something that causes tears?
Well,
Something that causes sheer joy.
can we
You
just
feel
get
me?
another word for that?
Like-
Dennis, because when you're talking about wetness and moisture, it's more like an inner thing. It's not an outer wetness. So for the fact that you're dropping tears from your
I'm just not
eyes,
gonna talk. Forget it.
it's a
Y'all
whole-
good.
it's a
I'm
whole
done.
conversation.
I'm done talking. Continue. Y'all enjoy the rest of the podcast.
I'm just saying that's just how I took it.
I'm
Everybody's
checking out.
different.
I'm still confused, but go ahead,
Trevor.
Trevor.
Continue.
Where was that?
Your rib.
A rib,
Rib.
right. All right. So after talking to Chen, Chen kept on saying, "Yo, you got to do it before the end of the month," and I really felt it being real kind of statement from God, not from Chen, right? But I was still, my flesh was still saying, I don't know, man. Is it too soon? Would the parents approve? This kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Went to Bible study at work, and they were talking to Luke, and it was when Jesus went on to the boat with Peter, and Peter was already done fishing, but he didn't pick up nothing. So he's cleaning his nets.
Yeah.
And she just said, "Hey, let's go back out one more time."
Yeah.
See, Peter listened to what Jesus was saying.
Yes.
And then he was blessed abundantly with more fish.
Yeah.
Right. So after that one, that Bible study, I wanted to start crying because I was like, okay, that's what you were trying to say to me. Just trust your lead. I didn't have no ring. I didn't ask the parents' permission yet, and all that. So, but I'm like, all right, let's set it up. I text her stepfather, shout out to Tony. Hopefully he listens to this
Shout out
episode.
to Tony.
And I gotta send him this link. I text him, say, hey, I got a question. I got a very big question to ask you, but I always want to do it in person. He said, hey, what's up? Is everything okay? I was like, yeah. It was just want to talk the big marriage question. And this is his sense of humor. Check it. He says, dude, I'm not into guys.
Facts. Make sure.
That's a funny response.
And I'm like, no. And he said, hey, you want to meet up? I'm like, yeah, cool. So we met up around 5:30. And mind you, me and Tati always hangs out. So I had to tell her, hey, I got a meeting. Don't know why I said this to her. I could said, hey, I'm going to head home right quick. Then we can meet up a little bit later. But no, I said, no, I got a meeting. And she said, meeting for what? I'm like,
yeah. Like, oh, wait, I got to explain this now.
no, it's just important. I'll explain it later. It says later. Okay. I'm like, dang.
And
I heard Spice Senses went off a little bit.
Trev, it's not even that enough because from what I know about Tati, she's a Capricorn. So for her, whenever for anybody know anything much about Capricorn, they really can't deal with secrets. So when she and Trevor is now in a relationship and he's doing something secretive, it doesn't sit well with her soul because now she starts thinking, what else is he going to be secretive about later on in the future? So so this was a very big part for a Capricorn in their relationship because I'm guaranteed this probably been the first time Trevor had to tell her something that wasn't actually true because he didn't lie. He said he had a meeting. Yeah, he just didn't tell her what type of meeting.
Yeah, it was. Gotta keep it secret.
Yes,
right.
But
so we met up with Tony and her mom too. Her mom technically didn't know who he was meeting up because he's better at the secret thing. And she saw me there. She picked up hints. It's like, oh my god, he's about to ask.
Oh wow,
right? And I gave. You see, I was super nervous, mind you. I don't know if y'all ever did. Don, I don't know if you had to do this.
I did.
And I was saying, hey, I love your daughter. She's been amazing, and I know it's short term, but listen, I'm deeply in love. I want to marry your daughter. It is okay. I have her hand. What's the phrase?
Hand in marriage.
Hand in marriage, right? And
then you have to get Trevor that hat, dog. You might have to get Trevor that hat. He's swelling up over there.
No, it's too hot. It's too hot. Anyway, and within like maybe a second, they said, "Oh, yes."
Like, of course.
Yeah, Doug. Wow. They really appreciate me. Listen, I love her family, right? And they're very much welcoming in. I felt welcome in like a good month in.
Yes.
And I never felt that before from a relationship, family, whatever you want to say. So they said, do you have a ring? And I'm like, no, I don't have a ring. I said, oh, okay. But like Tati's not
materialistic.
Yeah, I can't talk.
Trevor's nothing wrong with that. Trevor, before you continue, that's why we're our brother's keeper.
Right.
Because regardless of whatever area you may be weak in at that moment, hopefully one of us can be here to be strong.
Yeah, appreciate that. She's not that type. And they all understand. She said, you show up, just ask. She's definitely going to say yes, right? But they're also thinking, wait, we do have one of her grandmother's rings too. Right?
Oh wow!
And she grew up with her grandma's super close. She like when her grandmother passed, she was so heartbroken. Yeah. Right? And they say, hey, we could give you one. When are you trying to do it? And I was like, tomorrow. And this is the 28th.
Thank you for calling me, Trev.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right?
Thank you for calling me. I feel special because I thought that when he said he was going to make it happen. It was like, yo, hold on. I thought he already had everything planned out. Yeah. So for me being in this moment, for you to give me that update, because Trevor, I was mentally, I kind of checked into that one.
Right. So they say, yeah, we'll find a way. What are you going to do after this meeting? I'm like, most likely meet up with Tati. It's like, all right, are you going to the house? They said, yeah. So I went over there. We was going to watch Umbrella Academy, which is a great show. This is the only part I'm going to bring up this because y'all need to finish watching that.
Okay.
But went to go finish watching that with her, and like a good 30 minutes later, the parents come knocking on the door, and it is, they're saying they're bringing over a gift for Lainey, a baby gift for Lainey because it was just laying in the house.
Yeah.
But the stepdad just snuck me the ring.
Nice.
And he's like, oh, here, hold it.
It is.
Right?
I'm gonna say
My
something.
dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you sit down there talking about the Lord, it's when you plan stuff and do stuff right, it shows you the fruit of it.
Right.
Because Trevor's talking about not having everything to offer at that moment, but because he didn't go through the wrong channels, he did the right thing. He spoke with her parents, and he got something out to me. And I'm gonna say this is personally my endeavor. That's way more valuable than anything you'd have been able to go out and find.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Right. I agree too. Like I was thinking, dang. And I know because she always talks about her grandma, right?
Yeah.
So I got the ring. So the next day, I had the ring on my
28th?
side the whole day.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Must have been burning in your pocket.
what? I kept checking it
Like
to make
a weight.
sure there's nothing, no holes in my pocket. I'm like, is there? It's
Yeah.
good? All right, cool. Then, like, Tati is a very private person.
Yes.
Right? So I thought of, you know what? I'm just, whenever I get her by herself, I'm going to ask.
That's when you do it.
Right? So we, after work, we got some food, some Mexican food, and came back to my apartment. For some reason, it was freezing cold in my apartment.
Yeah.
I must have left it on or whatever.
No, Trevor, it was
It
freezing
always
cold for a
gets
reason.
cold
You want to
here.
know why, Trevor?
Yeah, don't shut up.
Yo, you got all these people cutting you off. You telling me to shut up.
Well,
Dude, I'm
Trevor,
playing.
it's not even that. It's cold for a reason. I feel like whenever something special is going to happen in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
you have to bring that heat. So that was the Lord giving the opportunity to bring that heat to that cold situation.
Oh,
What?
It was. I mean, it's cold. It's gonna warm her heart, bro. Get it pumping. Get her ready for that marriage talk. You got her in that apartment.
Hey, that was much better than what you said. Dan.
Yeah, okay.
We're not gonna go back
Let's see
there.
what
but-
allegiances are lying here in this podcast episode because that didn't make no sense.
anyway.
I had a better.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Anyway.
Let it go.
So I sat her down on the ottoman, and there was a blanket right behind her. I said, okay, I'm just warming you up. And I stand above her. I'm like, I said all my lovey-dovey stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
How I felt. And
Nobody's
all
stealing
that.
it.
Also, that was in my pocket was this play ring that she made me when she was in the NGT class. And I said, well, if someone made me this, and she first thing she said, you better not. Because I think she was like, yo, are you about to ask me right now? And I would say, well, someone made this for me that was very special. And I said, I'm going to put it on my finger. Right?
Yeah.
Rops.
Then I brought up the other ring and was like,
Rose.
someone else gave me this ring for this special moment. And, the tears start flowing. I got on one knee and I asked her to marry me.
Oh man, I'm about to cry, yo. Man.
Song playing in the background. Tell me.
Yeah. Soft. Keep going, Trev.
Keep going, man.
Anyway,
Continue.
so of course she said yes.
Yes.
Hugged up and didn't want to separate. We forget the food was here. It was a magical moment.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I am officially engaged.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
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 Congratulations.
Come on, clap for me. Y'all know leave me alone. Come on. Dennis, come on, man.
Appreciate that. But yeah,
Thank God.
I want to say congratulations to Trevor. Trevor already dropped the government to Tatiana Reed.
Soon to be.
When our last name gets changed. I want to say Tati, based on our dynamics as Trevor's extended family, we welcome you. We're here for you.
Yes.
You know how I feel. We don't me talk differently, but from everybody's standpoint, I want to let you know that we're here. We're here for you. We're here with you. Welcome to the team.
she gonna cry when she hear this.
That's fine.
She mean, welcome to the team. She been on the team.
No, she been on the team.
But
Dennis,
on
she been in the training.
Let me do my talk
Go
now.
on, Donovan. Go on,
now.
Donovan.
So, Trevor has supported all of us, in our marriages.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited to return the favor to one of my best friends, The way he has supported me, my family, like I just cannot wait to just support you at 1,000,000%.
Yes,
in this, Trev. It's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. I'm just so excited for you, man.
Trevor, you ain't get no groomsmen for your wedding, right?
Again, what?
You ain't get no groomsmen for your wedding.
What do you mean?
Because everybody's gonna be a best man.
Yo, I'm real.
There's gonna be no groomsmen.
I feel that.
It's gonna be a bunch of best men.
Your best man, like, yo, look.
I'm best man number 1, best man number 2.
Yeah, you better get it right.
I might do something unique like that. I might be hey, all my best men stand. I want all y'all to just get up.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Trevor, I'm down. Like, Trevor, see, now we're talking about marriage ideas. You feel me? And you know what would have been nice? And this is just thinking out loud because I'm no wedding planner. While her dad is probably escorting her down the aisle, that every column may be in the church, or wherever we decide to do this wedding, like one of us keeps joining the dad as he walked down the aisle to show that she got men's behind her. You know what I mean? And then you will be the last guy right there to take her away from dad, and we all standing right behind you.
What about the other ladies?
That's fine. We can catch them there too. They walk by themselves.
We can walk them down and go back.
And go back up. I'm down.
How does that sound proper?
This is just quick thinking.
I'm gonna let you know. At this moment, the way I'm feeling, I'm down for the exercise. I'm just keeping it real. I'll run. You be
Trevor, whatever you.
So basically,
I'm down for it.
Basically, Cien's saying that it's okay to abandon the bridesmaids.
I don't think
10-4, dog.
This ain't your day.
Hold on. I want you to understand. I just said there are gonna be no groomsmen. That's who walks with bridesmaid. We're all best men. That's a whole other conversation.
So the bridesmaids are going to be by themselves.
That's fine. They can walk by themselves.
So you're supporting women being by themselves instead of the fact of everybody being conjoined.
I'm gonna say this
as the main centerpiece of the
best
wedding.
man stays by the groom's side.
Yeah, the groom. See, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. So the best man doesn't walk down the aisle.
No,
either?
No.
Did you walk down the aisle?
No, I was right by you.
You stayed right by me.
Let me explain this part. I mean, Donovan, you're a little bit fresher than I am. From a couple weddings I've been at, Donovan was the first time I escorted down the what do you call them?
The bridesmaid.
The bridesmaid. Normally, when I've gone to a wedding, we escort the bridesmaid when it's time for him to leave behind the groom and the wife, because at that point, that the whole union is joined. So I mean, I'm gonna say this. Look, we're in the 21st century. Any way Trevor and Tati feels like they want to do their wedding, I'm keep it real. I'm down.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, if we're gonna be digging up rocks and climbing underneath it to get this popping, I'm down. If we're in a box, I'm down. Yeah. But Trevor, for the way I'm feeling, dog, if the Lord keeps blessing me in my endeavors, we can get this done in a castle because I'm down. All right. That's what we're trying to do. You feel me? At this
moment, Tati's eyes open up 10 times. Like what?
Well, she's still taking this in.
Yeah. And Tati, I want you to take it in, man. Take it in because. I mean, Tati, you know how we all feel about Trevor. I mean, away from podcast world,
Yes.
So, I've had this conversation with you. So don't stop ball when you hear me talking like this. All right,
she's still gonna hit me.
Well, I want to say, Trevor, and Dennis like to use the word unicorns when it comes to things that's mythical and legendary. Things that's out of reach and far beyond. Yeah. And where Trevor has been in the last couple of years is putting himself in that mythical unicorn place to see another unicorn arrive on the scene and join hands with him.
Boy, y'all are full of cheese today.
And I think we've been it's real talk. And I think we've been seeing it, man.
Cheese,
I've been seeing the growth in Trevor, and I've been noticing it, man. I've been noticing that you're ready to do different things and take different steps and just move up in life, man. So this is nothing, man.
Yeah, appreciate
you got it.
For real. I don't eat cheese. I'm lactose intolerant, dog. So you know what happens when I eat cheese.
But you still eat it anyway.
Hey.
Well, listen.
Okay.
I'll tell y'all off the podcast the date that we have planned, but it will be next year.
Yes.
So
sure.
Don't worry. But yeah, that's my story time. I'm engaged, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations, Trevor.
It's still uneasy saying that. I ain't never said that before.
Well, Trevor,
I'm engaged with a fiance. I don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah, like my fiance.
Trev, that's right. Trev, that's what happened when new titles are taken.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even that, Trev. You've been a husband, so it's walking in your purpose. I've been talking about. I guess no matter what angle I turn in life, Trev, it's been a constant reminder that we all got to walk in our purpose.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Well, I there's nothing I can say right now that will.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even want to talk about anything else.
Yeah, for real.
You good.
It was so amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you know, guys. When I listen to this and to the title that says Trevor's engagement, you should know why. Just so we laughing about it. I mean, there's special things that's happened. Nothing as special as what we have just heard. You know, I know Dennis has his things. Donville has his things.
I got my things, man. I'm just reminiscing.
Yeah,
I remember the first time, man. Trevor and I drove down to Miami. It's like
spring
we were
fling.
just in college, man. And it's like, look, we're here now, and just so many things have happened in life. It's just amazing, man. How we've all grown together, man. Yeah. Like there's been times where we've prayed together, we've cried together, man. And it's just great to see this all pay off, man. Yeah. Because there were times where we ain't know, like, oh, I'm getting so emotional right now. There's so many times where we didn't know, like, we're just hanging out, man, just supporting each other. Yeah. Going through the BS of life, you know what I'm saying? Getting laid off jobs and all types of stuff. But we always had each other to confide in, man. And look what look what the blessings that we're reaping now. It's just, man, it's a lot.
You know,
it's beautiful.
And Trevor is not a young person in the sense that Trevor's gotten there.
I got grays.
They got grays, but I want you to see. I'm saying that this. I got married at a very young age. You know, my wife got married on her 18th birthday. But some stuff is worth waiting for. You know, and I know Trevor did say his thing was a little bit soon. I don't think nothing is soon. I'm a big Eminem's fan. You know, and I don't have to dig deep in 8 Mile when I'm talking about lose yourself. But I do believe that sometimes opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You know, the unicorn or mythical beasts, they come around once in a millennium. You know what I mean, Trev? So for you to catch yours now, you got to catch it and hold on to it. And I think that's something that I can say I can take in from this whole story. Yeah, it's like you got to seize the opportunities that you have in life. You spoke about she curving you, and sure, we already know. If anybody looked Trevor up on Instagram and thinks it's King Curve, it's there for a reason.
Oh yeah, I gotta change that.
No, you're gonna keep it.
You probably should have been changed that.
I wanted to keep it just so anybody who look at it can know that he's curving you for a reason, because he has purpose in his life. And the Bible says, you know, now I'm getting all spiritual. The Bible says when a man finds a woman, he finds a good thing. You feel me? And Trevor find more than just a woman and find himself a wife. Yeah. You feel me? So it's to show that, for anybody out there who feel like love ain't real, it's there. And if you feel like time is catching up on you, and I'm talking to my peoples in them 50s right now, you know what I mean? Because we do have elderly people that listen to our podcast. Yeah. You know, even if you're in your 50s and you feel like, your time hasn't come yet, probably because the person that the Lord is going to be delivering onto you just hasn't arrived yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dennis is still single right now. Probably whatever Dennis is fishing for may not be swimming in the ocean at this moment. He may have to keep fishing until something that he probably wants to keep comes around. But whenever your opportunity comes, you have to take it, and take it in strides. You know, Trevor didn't just jump into the water. He came prepared. He was like, you know what? I want to be a friend. He established some boundaries, and I personally think these are boundaries that is more important than anything else for a good structure or a good root for any relationship to grow inside of. You know, it's for you and your partner to be a friend, right? Before you even go down the relationship. And then when you go down that relationship, you start taking the right steps, because Trevor didn't go from friend to marriage. And a lot of people jump in those bridges too fast without getting a step. You know, he's given her fiance role, right? And she's a fiance. And then when the time has come for them to finalize in that holy union, when last name get changes and you're now completely one, those bridges will be crossed. But it's a steps that was taken to get it done. And in life, you have to have a plan. You know, my wife has a thing called a vision board, I mean, everybody have different names for these things. You know, about what your goal is. And Trevor, fortunate for you, the Lord gave you your vision board in your dream.
Right.
10 years is a long time, you know.
Yeah.
You know? And if I'm gonna say it straight, you're the second person. Now, my wife had the same thing. She dreamt about me before I showed up, and you dreamt about your wife before she showed up. So that means that if that's the one thing, the Lord is speaking to you. So whatever He's speaking to you, true. Let's make sure you stay grounded with that.
That dream thing you brought up, you gotta think about you know, in the Bible, Joseph. Is it Joseph? Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the dream.
Yes.
And from the time he had the dream to the time that dream came through fruition, was a span of years and years and years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it reminds me of, you know, what Cian said. Like, it does take time.
Yes. It don't happen.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna get a little bit dark. My bad, Trevor. And the reason I'm getting a little bit dark, we're talking about dreams. I have an older brother that passed away. My brother passed away when I was 11 years old, 9 years old, sorry. And right before my brother passed away, I kept on having this dream about him getting run over by a truck. And then the dream started happening. Then I'm the one I saw in the dream happening. And the last time I had the dream, he was the one that got hit, right? And I woke up that morning, 9 years old, went to school. And on my way home, my brother was hit off a motorcycle and he was killed. And I had a dream for a while. And I should have just said something to my mom. I'm not saying my dream would have changed anything, but probably if I would have said something to my mom, it probably would have. I always felt that it would have raised some awareness in him. Like, yo, look, you dreamt that one of us got hit off, you know what I mean, killed by a car. That would have probably, you know, made him ride a little bit safer on his motorcycle or something. So I kind of always hold that in. So normally whenever I get my dreams, I try to hold on to them pretty strong. Like, you know, it means more than just a fiction of my imagination. You know, it could be a message, and sometimes the message is not for you, it's for somebody else.
Right.
You know, but it's for you to listen to. And Trevor, as you said, you did the most important thing you talked about after your dream. And that's something that I need to do more often as well. So, not to be a hypocrite, is whenever I get dreams, especially dreams that I don't understand fully, is to go and pray on them.
Right.
Yes.
You know? Well, Trevor, I want to change the subject. Let me start first before we sit here and continue on Trevor's greatness.
Yes.
You know, I want to give a special shout out. I think her name is Tia Clayton. Let me make sure I said that correctly.
Track and field update?
Yes, a track and field
All
update.
right.
So, Tia Clayton is 14 years old from a school in Jamaica called Edwin Allen. She broke the 100-meter record for her age group. She ran 11:37. Which
nice.
in track and field world, I mean, I had this conversation like about a year ago.
Yeah.
It's a very, very fast time. So as of right now, I'm just going to give a shout out to Jamaica and the whole, since we're doing all the celebration.
Right.
Jamaica now currently holds the 100-meter record for 13, 14, and 15 and 16-year-old girls overall.
Nice.
With Brianna Liston, I mean, if you guys remember me talking about her, was a 16-year-old. Yeah, 16-year-old girl who held the record last year now. So now we kind of cover those age group, but it just shows that when you nurture some of these little young people or anything that's growing, you can get great success out of it. You know, so I want to give a special shout out for that. You know, for anybody out there who will do them thing, just keep persevering, keep working hard. Now, Donville, you had something that you said to me earlier. I think it's very important, especially we just leave off the Black History Month that you were talking about.
Yes.
I want you to bring some fruit to that for me, please.
So as you know, a lot of there's been a lot of presidential candidates that are coming out for the 2020 election. I mean, you got Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, just to name a few.
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing about all these candidates is that they've all been, you know, well, not all of them been on the Breakfast Club, but most of them have been on the Breakfast Club. And Charlamagne is kind of pushing this thing as far as to see what they plan to do for the black community.
Yes.
What's your black agenda? And I think that is kind of spiraled into this whole discussion about reparations.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, reparations was brought up and it kind of just got laughed at. Like, oh, you're going to give these people billions of dollars? Like, haha, that'll never happen. Well, now these candidates are actually responding in a way that kind of makes sense. Like, they're saying, okay, well, we can't just give money away, but we can, you know, direct funds into certain communities. I know Kamala Harris in particular, she has like a tax credit plan where if you're making under $100,000 a year, which most African Americans are, then you're going to get a tax credit to where you get like, I think it's between $400 and $600 a month extra on top of your, you know,
That's good.
your wages. So
Okay.
these type of things are, I mean,
I'll take that.
yeah,
Because
these type of things.
Not to cut
Wait, you ain't African American? I had to do that.
Wait, hold on. Not to
yeah.
cut you on that. The reason why I like that, and I want you to, I'm gonna ask that person if you can explain to some people what reparation is.
Yeah.
But before I said that, I do like that idea because in some parts of America, if you're a single parent, $600 a month towards your pocket, that could help a rent or a mortgage. That alone helps.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's covering it because if they're giving you $500 or $600 and rent is probably like $1,000, you're cutting your rent in half.
Right. Let me give y'all something. I didn't want to get into this. I'm not going to get too deep into this discussion.
Not too deep,
but I was reading this report. It's called the Color of Law report. It's Color of Money, something like that. It's a report that comes out, and what they do is they look at the wealth gap between race and ethnicity in certain cities. So the most recent one was actually Miami.
Okay.
And something interesting came about that. Instead of just saying, okay, black people make this much, white people make this much, Hispanic make this much, they broke it down to your ethnicity. So they broke down Black Americans versus Jamaicans versus Haitians versus Puerto Rican Hispanic, Cuban Hispanic, and white.
Okay.
Black Americans were at the bottom. When you talk about wealth, Black Americans on average in Miami, $11.
What?
Wealth in your family, $11. Jamaican, $2,000.
Oh.
Haitian, $2,600. And it goes up.
Hey.
It goes up. It goes up to the average white family, $100,000 wealth. So what that correlates to is
you and me both.
600.
but the thing is that what that correlates to is stability.
Yeah.
That says if a white family goes through issues of being laid off or health issues or whatever, life happens,
Right.
They have that stability where they can still rise back up.
Yes.
Okay.
Even a Caribbean family, we have some type of stability that says, okay, you can get laid off for a month or two and still rise back up to where you're at or even higher after some times. But $11, that's not even food. That means if you lose your job, you are rock bottom.
Yeah.
Like that. There's no buffer. So that's what we see that's happening in these black communities. And like something not reparations exactly, but something like reparations is going to help.
It would help.
You asked about what reparations was, and I get confused on, so I had to pull it up to make sure I'm correct in this.
No, because I want a
reparations, the making of amends for wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. So of course, the wrong in this situation is slavery.
Yes.
And it goes beyond slavery too. I mean, you're talking about, slavery was amended and all that, but you still have Jim Crow.
Yes.
You still have these black people that did rise above and then their communities were burnt.
Right.
You have redlining and as far as not being able to get mortgages in good communities. So you're getting a mortgage in a bad community. Your property value actually goes down after you get a mortgage.
Yes.
It's like everything's been working against black Americans. So the great thing I like about this presidential campaign is that it's being brought up, it's being addressed. Something happened with Bernie Sanders where a lady and a news reporter asked about reparations. He kind of just walked off. And it's not like no, everybody's not cool with that. Like people are calling him out about she asked you about reparations. You walked off. Like what's up with that?
I'm gonna say this. I don't think that's a question he knows how to answer.
Well, the thing with Bernie is that he is from that. I don't want to get too political, but he is from that older type of politics where it's like reparations. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Now Kamala and Corey and even Elizabeth Warren, she's older, but she seems to have more of a grasp on like, hey, this needs to be done. Because I was actually watching a report from Elizabeth Warren from last year. She was talking about the redlining and as far as people of color getting mortgages that were higher interest rates than a white person had the same credit score.
Yeah.
Things like that are still going on. She's addressing that in Congress. So it's just something I want y'all to just stay aware on because it's definitely it's it's definitely something that's going to come up more and more as far as what a black agenda is in this next presidential campaign.
And I'm happy you brought it up, Bill. In a sense that, and the key word for me there is agenda. Everybody wants to be a president, right? But it's under what terms and who do you help? Because I want to say this, regardless of who you voted for, I would say this: the Caucasian people benefited a lot from Trump being in president. I can say this, according to them, unemployment is at an all-time low. Their average income has increased because from what and these are things I've talked to people about. Yeah, they let me know that their average household now is $15 an hour minimum if anybody who's working. So for them, especially in this economy, it's better than what it looked like before. So I want to say this based on what happened. Some infrastructure was created so they can get help. And I'm all for it for any community gaining help, right? Yeah. So I'm happy that this conversation came about so black people could have something that could steer towards helping them. And I'm not very big on getting on the whole my hand is out, but we need help. People need help. Yeah. And if somebody needs help, because I want to say this, I don't think people who are very financially stable should be having a conversation about reparation, but it's for people who really can't survive. Like for people who are who's in the inner city or the communities that no matter what they do, they just can't seem to get out. Like, oh, the police drives around my neighborhood. If I even dare decide to see an empty bottle in the street and pick it up and throw it away, and the police pulled up on me, oh well, you have an open container. You're like, no, I'm trying to pick up this empty bottle. It was in the road. No, I saw it with your open container, and then your life has changed. It's a help reinvest back, and I want African Americans to listen to this keenly, because this would be a good thing. If this happens, let's hope that we use this opportunity to reinvest in our community. Because, for example, I look up to the Jewish community a lot, because the Jewish community basically says that before a dollar leaves their community, it's turned over 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And I'm not sure if a lot of people understand what it means when they say the money gets turned over in the community 3 or 4 times. What it means is that I'm going to use me as example A. If I buy something with my money, I will buy from Downville store, right? Who is considered another African American. Right. And if Downville buys something, it's going to buy it in Dennis's store, which is another African American. So this money just transferred in the community twice. Yeah. Then it will come back to Trevor. Then probably at that point, if Trevor is the final source in that community, then he will go out to a larger organization. But at least everybody in that community get to take an advice. Like, a lot of people hate on the bootleggers, the people who's bootlegging CDs and DVDs and selling on the street. Now, and clothes. And I want to say this, guys. Yes, I am not saying it's right. It is wrong to be bootlegging people's stuff. But what that has shown, do you know the bootleggers is the number one investors in the African American community? Well,
the thing about bootleggers is that bootlegging is what makes things pop.
Yeah, right.
Think about Dapper Dan back with Gucci. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dapper Dan was bootlegging Gucci. Mm-hmm. He was taking their stuff, flipping it around, making it urban. Yes, that's bootlegging. Yeah, but he made Gucci popular in the hip hop community. Yeah, nobody cared about Gucci until Dapper Dan started rocking that stuff, making cool backpacks, doing all this crazy stuff with jeans.
And everybody's like, what is this? Yeah. Oh, no, we want the original. We don't want the fake version.
Oh, that's Gucci. What's that? Yeah. Let's buy that.
But and Downville just showed that. So the African Americans has found ways to try to help, but it's just to get the right platforms to make this happen. Yeah. For some, I'm going to say this. I think the African American community took steps back after Martin Luther King died, because before, right up to Martin Luther King, a little bit after, the progress that we were on, or the trajectory, was pretty good. I want you to understand, more lawyers and doctors came out during that age in African American community, more than everything else. And then for something that happened in the 80s, and I want to use the word drugs did do it. The drug war started, where a lot of people felt like, look, instead of me working for going to school, get a proper education and get this job, I was just going to start selling it.
Let me tell you what happened before that, because something happened before the 80s.
Go ahead, Domino.
So I follow Killer Mike a little bit, and he mentioned something that correlated with something else.
That's my guy, bro. I love Killer Mike.
I was watching. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So you have the Tulsa, Oklahoma riots, like back in, I think it was like 60s, 70s, that type of era. And what happened was they had a Black Wall Street. It was basically an entire section of a town where you had nothing but black businesses, thriving, doctors, lawyers, like real businesses that were making money. And these people end up fires were started, they were bombed, all types of stuff happened to destroy that community. And then, along with that, Killer Mike was explaining something about the certain area in Atlanta where it was similar situation. It was thriving, and they had great businesses, all black owned. They were doing well. They're passing their businesses down to their kids.
Yes.
And it got to a point where the kids were like, we could sell this for, whatever, a couple million, couple 100,000 and move to the burbs and we're good. And that's what happened. Instead of keep business going, they said, hey, we're going to not sell out, but we're going to sell this off and then move to a uppity community, a white community. And it happened.
To a singular mindset.
So then what happens to the black community?
It's dying.
Degradation. It dies. Yeah. People come in, buy it low.
Yeah.
And do whatever they want. People from other communities come in, buy it low, and do whatever they want to do with it. Either if they're going to open a little corner shop to make money, sell alcohol.
And David, I'm happy. I'm happy you said that. And this is very big for me. I drink wine occasionally, right? So I'm never very much drinker, but there's like 2 or 3 liquor stores in every African American community, right?
Exactly.
But none of them are owned by black people.
That's why ownership is important,
right?
That was something that hurt. Because I don't want to say this because now I'm Jamaican, and in Jamaica they're kind of falling the same way where most Jamaican products is being owned by China, by the Chinese. But now we're trying to fight back in the sense that, look, you guys may own a bigger corporation, but we're trying to find how to keep this money in our small mom and pop corporation before it gets to you guys.
I had seen some article earlier today that said that Jamaica's in debt to China. I was going to ask y'all, it was like $78 billion or something like that.
That's correct.
They basically,
ask y'all
China basically came in and did a lot of infrastructure, our highways, all types of stuff. Yeah. They built it.
So, they built it, and then they just got to figure out how to repay them back.
Yeah.
Like that's back pocket dealings though. Like, you come in and you do that for a third world country. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but now you want to get your money back and all that type of stuff. Like usually it's like doing a favor for somebody for something in return.
It was never a favor.
It wasn't a favor. They made that deal, Dennis.
Yeah.
Jamaica brought that
deal.
They
brought their engineers and everything.
Yeah. And they agreed to that deal. So Dennis, I'm happy how you said it. It is kind of like backward
dealing. That's a
dealing.
lot of money, dog.
Yeah,
it is a lot of money, but I'm gonna say this is the only thing that I find wrong with it. Dennis, you were right when it was backdoor dealing. Is that most Jamaicans, most people from the country, was not the one who participated in the work. That's what the most hurtful part is, because that money was being made on the government level. The government is saying we're spending money, right? But the money wasn't being spent on the people, so it wasn't paying local workers to get this done. Where the money at least they would have spent the money that way. It would have turned over in their community. Right. And came right back through them so they can pay China. What they did differently is that China was like, no, we want to bring in our own workers. So they brought in their own workers. So instead of the money going to the community, it went straight to the Chinese. So that's where that went wrong. So that's where I had a problem with it. But
but if they agreed to that deal, they're equally at fault too.
But
they should
have fought for
they should have fought for their people to actually build it.
They're wrong.
But here's the thing, though, Jamaica's still going to profit from it because they have a thriving tourist industry. Like, even though the Jamaican people are not going to see that money, Jamaica as a country is not going to be, should not be indebted to China for too long.
Dog, that's a lot of bread.
Because the infrastructure, it's different to say that China just came in and did some crap job. Like, the infrastructure, I've been there. I've seen the highway. Like, it's a huge level up. You're talking about back in the day, it would damage your vehicle to try to get from Kingston to Ocho Rios.
Yeah.
Now people are going to Kingston to Ocho Rios
in half an hour, Dennis.
In half an hour. Yeah, that's tourism dollars.
And they put it as a toll road.
Here's the thing. Like, how long do they have to pay them back though?
I mean, it's debt. As long as there's a debt, you're gonna be paying. It may take a couple of years. But then this is the reason why I said what I said in the beginning of that conversation. Mm-hmm. The first thing they did wrong was not let Jamaican workers do it. Because, look, they're going to have to pay that money out to China regardless, right? Now, if that money was being paid to if the Chinese was paying that money that they were supposedly being borrowed to Jamaican workers we would have got the money
It's going back into Jamaican economy.
and then going right back to them. So that's what they did. They're doing wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a very big conversation that we brought up. So we talk about reparation and stuff like that. But for me, it's about people being in the right spot to help people and not doing what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's one of the biggest thing that needs to be bring to the forefront. And that's in politics, because I don't want to get too much in politics. But in the sense that if you have the opportunity to help your country, why don't you help? And I'm saying this in the fact that a lot of politicians who were sitting at this table, they know who they are. They're going to call nobody name, dog. Yeah. They made that deal because they know they were going to get their money, their cut up front. You feel me? Because it's when it comes to acquisition comes with payout, right? If I bring you to the table, which I'm going to give you $78 million, and all you got to shoot me $2 million, it's like facts. Let me get my money. But instead of you think about how it would affect your community, you thought about yourself. And that's what that deal showed me. And it's not just that deal. It goes the same way around the world in different areas. And it always hits third world countries, because you're thinking that, you know, oh, I'm in a third world country, there's no way out. But if you sat there, I'm going to use this. Look, if you guys ever look at Singapore don't make deals like this. Mm-hmm. Singapore is self-sufficient. Singapore is not even considered a third world country.
No, they got money.
Dennis, they got money. I want to hear something. I'm gonna tell you something funny.
And mind you, it wasn't always that way.
No,
they've done that in a couple decades.
Yes,
changed things completely around.
When Singapore started, Trev, Singapore started with Jamaica, and this was during the agriculture age. Jamaica and Singapore was neck and neck. This is when, you know, that generation right before your mom, where all the Jamaicans was proper and promised, they were right there with them, and then politics got there. Politician was like, wait, I can make money off politics. What Singapore kept on reinvesting back into Singapore, because if you look how their waste system, like I'm challenging anybody who listens to our podcast to go YouTube Singapore waste system, how they dispose of their waste. That keeps their country beautiful. That alone saved them billions of dollars. Most countries like here, we're spending billions of dollars for trying to still figure out how to get rid of trash. Yeah. When they have, if you even YouTube or Google their solution, because I don't want to give too much information on it, because it's so joyous to watch.
Okay.
To watch and see what they did.
Yeah.
You know, and these are things that it's the same thing that has to happen back inside the African American community.
But when it comes to stuff like that, do you think they're trying to figure it out, or do you think that it's something that they figured out already and they just didn't want to do?
Very good question.
Because look at the whole situation with Flint and their water. They could have fixed that like when it started.
Well,
it's at that point it's a choice, and then now you got other people reaching out like Jaden Smith, who started dropping money on a new filtration system so the people can filter out like most of the chemicals in the water, so they can actually have it more tolerable than before. Like you got people that aren't supposed to be paying for this.
That's paying for it. I know Big Sean was doing the same thing too.
Exactly. So like that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. They're focusing money in the wrong directions.
And that's right, Dennis. I'm happy you talked about that Jaden thing, because for us to be looking for us who have a sustaining government, to have the people from the inner city help to fix stuff like this was crazy. And I'm gonna say what's crazy.
It is crazy
because all right, now we're gonna throw presidents in a box, right? Most president receive a check. Ex-president receive a check each year. If I'm saying that correctly, I think it's like $2 million.
No, it's not that much.
How much is it now? If you can give me,
I want to say it's in hundred thousands. It's definitely not over 200,000. It's less than 200,000, and they still get They get a stipend for like Secret Service, and all that stuff. But I'll look it up right now.
Now, why are you looking it up? Now, for anybody who works into the Department of Defense knows that these categories get billions of dollars thrown into them. And I'm not saying defense is not important. Defense is very important. I'm a gamer. You know, I like playing strategy game. I know as long as your armor good, even if I can't hit you hard, you're gonna still get hit, but you just can't hit me. You feel me? So I want to say that I agree with the increase in the defense. But if you're gonna have such a strong defense and there's no people, what are you defending?
Right.
That's just my thing with it. You know, like I feel like, you know, just take one of the $1 billion that you invest into the infrastructure for the military just for 1 year. Like, look, I'm gonna give you 10, but this year I'm just gonna take one and throw it towards Flint.
I'm gonna jump in. It's $207,000.
That's not bad.
And their spouse gets $20,000 pension.
It's not bad.
And while
On
they're
top
president,
of the money you were
while they're
getting paid?
president, it's $400,000 a year.
It's not bad. So I must say this: if you're getting 100 stacks a year or 200 stacks, it's 200, right, Donville?
$207,800.
Well,
But that's nothing. I mean, you gotta think presidents operate on an executive level.
that's true.
An executive that gets paid that much money in
It's
a
a big team.
corporation is nothing. That's a crap salary.
Yeah, that's like a layoff salary.
Yeah, but the benefits that you get from the situation itself is
Exactly.
what
Yes, more about the benefits and what you can do afterwards.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many different ways we can fix, and it's not just Flint; it's the world. You know, because a lot of these countries is they're talking about being self-sustained, but if we all reach out and help different countries, the whole world can be self-sustained. We just got to stop thinking about the whole me and think about us. I think that's something that should be
Yes,
promoted this
the
year.
we approach.
The we
approach.
approach, right? Because I mean, away from what our skin our complexion look, because I'm brown in one side, dark in the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all human beings. We need to come together and figure that out.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
I keep talking about my brother's keeper, but it's not just keeping our brothers. Trevor said it last time. We're keeping our sisters.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We got to be our sister's keeper. We got to be our brother's keeper. We got to be our neighbor's keeper. We got to be our friend's keeper. We got to be each other's keeper in this. You know, we're talking about Black History Month being just 1 month, right? We don't. Why is there technically a month to celebrate a race? We should be celebrating each other every day, not just one month where we're empowering each other. You feel me? We need to start digging a little bit deeper. Start pulling that layers on that onion back.
Reach out for those people because I think a lot what we do in Black History Month is look for that inspiration of Black people that have done great things.
Yeah.
Black people do great things 24/7, 365.
Right.
Reach out for those people, man. Like, you know, there's Black people that are still alive today.
Yeah.
They're doing great things. Look for those people. We have the world in our fingertips with this phone.
With a cell phone.
With this phone. You know what I'm saying? We could find out who, if we want to be a astrophysicist, we could look at the Black astrophysicists in the past and present.
Yeah.
And you're about to be the future one. So yeah, look for that inspiration. Like Cian said, man, 365.
Yeah,
every day get that
every day.
inspiration.
See,
Every day.
but people nowadays are all about self-sufficiency.
That's right.
So like when it comes to stuff like that, you could say it and they'll agree with you, but whether or not they'll do it is a different question.
Well, that's what
like
the
you
action
see,
is
like
on
for
you.
everybody sitting at this table, like if we wanted to run an idea to, you know, help each other out and stuff like that, yeah, like we'll support each other. But you're asking somebody to support their brother, you know, who is on the same level as them when they're on the come up for themselves. They'll be like, man, you know what? I'm trying to get this money on my own. Like, you know, F this dude over here. Like, if I do this, I'll make that. Like, if you propose like two different situations, like you do this and you'll make this amount of money like that, or you'll do this with, you know, this person and you'll get this amount over time, and you give them a smaller number.
Yeah.
And like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna try and take the bigger cut for themselves and try to do whatever. And it, like the thing that brought that to perspective for me too is there was a post on Facebook that said, "Would you rather get I think it was $500,000 up front, or 1 penny that doubles every day for a year?" Mm-hmm. And like literally half of these people, like actually it was more than half, said that they'll take the $500,000 up front. I was like, yo, give me that penny.
Yeah, give me the penny.
Like, give me that penny. And like you had the people that were coming up right there too. They're like, yo, let me get the penny. Let me get the penny. And then you just had one dude that was like, man, I'll take that 500 right there. He's like, yeah, but you have the penny that's doubling every single day for a year. Yeah. Dude broke down the math on it. It was like $5,800,000 something.
Yeah, in a couple months you're hitting 500,000.
Exactly.
No.
So you're not thinking of the longevity of what you're doing.
But
some people just want that quick.
Here's the issue,
so
Dennis.
They don't have to put back the work.
Dennis,
no more.
within our community, who is getting the payoff? Who is getting this payoff that we think of saying, okay, if I don't go together with my brothers and work together, who by themselves is doing this by themselves? Show me an example.
Like as far as what?
Like making money by themselves or going into business by themselves.
I mean, technically, if you go into business, you need another partner.
Or you need a team.
So this whole idea of, oh man, I look out for myself, it gets you nowhere.
Yeah, you need.
There's no good examples of it working,
and that's how you have the people that are stuck in that full circle.
So it's like, instead of saying
I can't trust nobody, I'm gonna get this money on my own.
What money?
Doesn't work.
That's the thing. What money? Like, you have, just like this podcast, we had to do this together. Like, one person can't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
everything takes a unit. But,
it takes a team.
But Dennis, what I'm getting from what you're saying is, how do we get away from that mind frame? I mean, we keep talking about being self-sustained. What self-sustained is getting us is not generational wealth. You find African Americans, musicians, or somebody who does something very good, they reinvest back into their own endeavors, but they're not reinvested back in their community. You're not creating millionaires. I want to say this. I want to give LeBron James a shout out. I'm not a basketball LeBron fan, but at least LeBron is trying to send kids to college, free education.
Yeah, in school.
You know what I mean? That's how you empower somebody. You give them something, and I think I say this like once a week now. Talking about education is a key, right? If you have the finance to help somebody, do it. You feel me? Don't sit here and count your millions, because that's one thing I've learned from life, being in my 30s now, is that when you die, you can't take it with you. Yeah. You feel me? And if you're self-sustained, where does that money go? When you're dead, that's the government's money.
Right.
You feel me? And then if you're not setting up a foundation for your kids, what are you doing? I'm gonna say this. One of the smartest person in the world basically is not giving their kids really no money after they die.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
Bill Gates.
Here's the thing. When it comes to millionaires, there's one thing I've heard from a millionaire. If you're poor, if you're not a millionaire, your aspiration is to become a millionaire, or your kids to become a millionaire. If you're a millionaire and you're looking at your kids, you don't wish for them to become millionaires. They are millionaires.
That's right.
Like they are millionaires. Right. It's already done. So go do something else. It's like, why? For what? You already got that. So go check the next box in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not even the vision for them to be like, oh man, I got to shoot for this. Like, no, they're shooting for other things.
Yeah.
And it goes to something I want to say. As far as giving back, man, a lot of times we think, oh, I got to have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, whatever this fictitious amount of money to be able to give back. Giving back isn't about money. It's about experience. We all can give back.
Yeah.
Because there is a kid somewhere that's, you know what I'm saying, at 10 years old that doesn't know what they're going to do in life. If we can give them some of our experiences, that's giving back. Talking to them, spending time, that's giving back.
It's the same concept of whether or not you want to, give the person a fish or teach them how to catch it.
Yeah.
Because, teach a man to fish and feed him family. Keep fishing for him when they stay hungry. I mean, and those are the things that we have to push forward for. We need more people out there in the world who's willing to teach people how to fish.
Yes.
And stop having people who's relying on people to fish for
waiting
them.
on the next person to teach.
Yeah, it's like go out there and learn. I mean, I'm gonna say this. We in a system where we're losing farmers.
Yep.
What's gonna happen when we have no farmers in this world? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not trying to eat a pill.
On the real, I saw something on Facebook that with people complaining on whether or not their kids should learn how to garden in school. I was like,
wow.
I love that.
I was like, that's a problem. I was like, yo, granted, like when I was growing up or whatever, during like summertime, when I first started doing it, because my mom would be like, okay, you're here for the summer. You're not just gonna sit here and watch TV the whole time or go play video games or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you some stuff and you're gonna help me some stuff. And like, like that type of thing. And like she showed me how to plant yams, like melons, berries, like, different herbs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at first it was work. Like you had to weed out the earth and you had to do this and do that and clean up the yard. And I hated it. I hated it so much. But the thing is, at the end of that summer, when the fruits of your labor start to sprout and stuff like that, like you get a whole sense of accomplishment because like it's hard work that's done. Yes. And at the same time, You just learn the survival skills. You feel me? So like if the world basically goes to hell in a handbasket and your kid doesn't know how to freaking grow fruit, he's going to have an issue because all he's going to do is like, there's a difference between a child that eats an orange and keeps the seeds and one that, you know, eats the orange and throws whatever it is away.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if you don't know that you can take the stem out of the top of the pineapple and replant it and grow it again, you have an issue. Like you feel me? Like there's a bunch of different things that you can learn. Like granted, you have like, you know, the redneckish white people and stuff like that. They have hunting skills. I'm not gonna take that away from them. Like they hunt for fun.
And they love their hunting.
Exactly.
Bro.
But that is a survival skill.
It is.
You feel me? So like if the world goes to hell, they're gonna be okay. Granted, if they don't know how to garden and they run out of meat, you have a problem. But like it's a necessary skill in my eyes. Like let's say like sewing, gardening, like all the stuff that the Boy Scouts teach you, Boy Girl Scout stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff fire. Like that. Like it's all like it's all like all that ranching and Amish stuff where they teach you like okay, like this is what we do to make sure we can make it to the next day. This is what we do now during the spring and the summer to make sure in the winter when we can't do this, we don't have to worry about it. Like that's the stuff that you need to teach them.
No, and this stuff is happening within our current generation. I mean, even in urban areas, they have this thing called urban gardening where they're taking one little section of a block and they're dedicating it to having an urban garden where you can grow beans and lettuce and kale and all these things and use it as a market. They're doing this in Detroit, you know, where the property value has died down. They can afford to do that. But even here in Central Florida, I've seen a lot of, you know, people of color starting gardens and starting markets. Right. And even in our own community, I see the awareness. It's there, you know, and we just got to keep pushing. Yeah. We got to keep pushing, you know, to stay away from the chemicals and the grocery stores, just going and buying and actually growing.
I still got to help my mom build that hydroponic garden. I keep forgetting about that.
It's funny because I was talking about that with me and my wife yesterday because she wants to make one. So that's a whole thing. But
you can make one that'll sustain probably about 30 plants for like $90. It's just $90 at Home Depot.
Yeah. And a couple of tools. I was watching some videos on I said, you know, YouTube, how to make these things happen. You know, it's crazy because we live in the United States, where fast food is cheap and real food is expensive. And you go to, I was going to not say Jamaica. When you go to another country where it's a third world country where stuff is smaller, it's that real food is cheaper than fast food. It's like, because you're cooking it yourself, you're getting a way better value than when you get if you went to the restaurant and pay for it. You know, but these are things that the world is missing. Is people who's willing to go out and do the hard work. I think because everybody's trying to be so self-sustained and trying to find shortcuts to make things work, where it would have been easier for you to get some help. I'm not sure if you guys ever hear the term the term "no man is an island."
Yeah,
you feel me? That's what we need to get. We need to get out of. None of us are island, and even if we're on an island, we need each other to sustain. Because for a population to grow or for people to get stuff done, it takes a man and a woman. Well, I mean, society may make it different nowadays, different preferences.
No, it takes a man and a woman.
You want to keep it that way,
it's balanced.
Triggered.
It's balanced, yo.
More real.
You know, well, you need that balance because you need somebody to get some stuff done. But not to say anything because I'm gonna go barbaric. If husband is outside cutting up wood and going to go get the meat. Right? I guess you can say then the wife will cook it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Or it's vice versa. If the ladies feel empowered to want to go out and hunt, you know, then the guy will stay home and cook. But it takes two to make these things happen.
I saw this.
Can't be out doing the same thing either.
I saw this post that was it made me laugh, but it kind of threw the whole gender thing into a spin for me because I really sat and I started thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? That actually made sense. Like, because at first it sounded kind of rude, but it was funny. Yeah. But it made sense. And it was basically like you have these two dudes lifting a stove or whatever, and they're like, yo, like they talk to the, you know, the girl like that identifies as a dude. They're like, yo, jump on the corner and help us lift this stove.
Yeah.
And like, no, I'm not lifting no stove. Like, you know, I'm a girl. Like, I don't lift the stove. It's like, yo, last time you told us you identify as a dude.
Yeah.
So as a dude to another dude, I'm gonna need you to get on this corner and lift this stove and that type of thing. So like, I started laughing, and like, it's just, when it comes to situations like that, how does it properly play out? Because technically what he did was not wrong.
No, he
did ask another male to help him lift something.
Because that's what
but
you
at
identify
that point in
yourself as.
time, you fell back on the fact that you know, you're actually a woman.
Yeah.
But you want people to respect and identify the fact that you identify as a male. So
I don't know where to go with that.
Well, Dennis, I mean, and Dennis, I understand
If
that.
I get into that, I might seem narrow-minded, so I'm gonna stay away.
No,
from
but
that
I mean,
conversation.
like, honestly, I do want to see what people's opinions on that is.
I understand where Dennis is coming from. I say this. My wife is very helpful in everything I do.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a male or female role, because if I'm lifting something heavy, she gonna help me just as much as if she's cooking some food. I'm gonna go help her in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But I understand where Dennis is coming from. It's not to identify. Woman has fought for equality, right? Based on the fact that equality, as long as we're helping each other, we have somewhere we can go on it. That's how I feel pertaining to that. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that makes me feel good. I can say this week has been a wonderful week. Yes. In different sense. If there's one thing I can take away from this week for me personally, is that you never, them say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, sometimes you can't, but if the dog is willing to learn, you can get this information through. And I've been feeling that way, because sometimes I feel like I'm maybe too old to start new things. But I've learned in this week, no, you can get beyond that. Whatever you put your mind to, you technically can do it. You just got to put that effort into it. So I think that's one thing I'm challenging people for this week, is like things that you feel you cannot do, or you like, oh, you know what, that doesn't fit me. Try it. You know, I'm big on trying stuff first once, and if it doesn't work, then I can be like, look, at least I tried it.
Right.
But if I don't try it, I'm not gonna knock it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just how I feel about how the week has been going so far.
So, Dennis, could you give us our educational quote of the week? And Dawn, can you give us that ignorant?
Oh, dang. I was going to shoot for the education.
So Dennis, you want the ignorant?
By default, right?
Dennis, going for the ignorant, huh?
No.
You want an educational quote of the week?
I'm smart too.
I did not say anything else.
God, I gave it to you.
All right, let me think something. Give me a minute.
Dom, let's start. Let's start with.
We want Dom to go all the way from this educational perspective I was giving now to something ratchet.
Hey, that's fine. We go down the line.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You start ratchet, then you get education, and I'll get the positive vibes.
Let me think of something ratchet.
Dig deep, man. How low can you go?
How low can you go?
As you're thinking, from the time last time we've been on the podcast, R. Kelly's been arrested and out of bail.
Teachers are still having sex with kids.
Tristan Thompson
cheated on Chloe.
Acting like a true Jamaican.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm sorry. Like when they found out he was Jamaican, like,
that's
right.
why.
That's great. Tristan pimping ain't
That's
easy.
not a good look though.
It's not, but hey,
it sure isn't.
Well, sometimes you have to break the stereotype.
Yeah,
Tristan was like, look, I'm old school. I'm from the 80s.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Hold on. What time are we at? We got time. There's a topic that it ended up generating some comments on my Facebook, and it was basically a picture that said all men. Actually, I have two, because one of them made me laugh. All right, it said all men do is lie, right? And then it said right under it had a picture of a female with no makeup. And then with all the makeup put on, and she looked like two completely different people.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Are we having this discussion?
Yes, we are.
Here's my take. Do you consider that a lie?
Do I consider the makeup thing as a lie?
Yeah.
I personally consider it as a hobby, But here's because you have females that they consider the whole makeup thing a hobby. Like they'll collect like eyeshadow palettes and stuff like that. To me, it's similar to a painter. Now, when you're sitting here contouring your nose to the point where it changes shape and stuff like that, and then you're adding like additional things here and there and stuff like that. At that point,
Play-Doh on your nose.
Then you're lying.
Is that a lie?
I don't know, Trevor. That's why I say for first and second dates, you got to go to the pool or something.
If you got to, if it takes you, I say if it takes you more,
and you got like a whole the whole curly fro thing going, and it's all weave, and you tell everybody that's your hair, which
that's a lie.
Hundreds of times.
How is that
and
a
now
lie?
I can tell the
difference. Trevor, I'm gonna say this. Look,
here's how it's a lie. I bought it, so it's mine.
Ownership. Are we just talking about ownership?
Ownership, but you didn't grow it.
What if you own the makeup? Is it yours?
It's ownership.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
you said you bought it.
You bought it. But I mean,
but I look at it as it's a hobby.
Then there's a thin line between love and hate, yo.
So when you put the Rogaine in your hair, is that a lie?
Rogaine?
Which is the one that dyes the hair?
Just for men?
No, the Beijing.
Benjing. When guys put Benjing in their hair, is that a lie? Benjamin.
Benjamin.
I'm done.
See,
he's that crazy.
Here's the thing. Now when it comes to the Beijing, here's how it is. Some people use it to achieve a certain look. Now, if you want that crisp, exactly, it's aesthetics on something that you already have. You're not, sitting there and gluing a beard to your face or anything like that.
Some people are doing that now.
Yeah. A lot of people use Beijing to fill in
the lace
like
front
gaps and stuff like
fade.
that. So like right now, like my beard is thick. But if I went ahead and I use Beijing on my beard, it would make it appear darker than what it is.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Fuller.
It's
enhancer.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's getting an
enhancer.
Just
adding something. You feel me? Now, take that into effect of you adding in extra things. Like I seen the videos with the Asian girls. They put on the fake nose.
Yeah.
And then they go ahead and they put the whole makeup thing over it. They put the lashes on and everything like that. And they have I seen one where like the chicks were literally doing half of their face. Mm-hmm. That's it. Just half.
Different person.
And it was completely different person, dog. Like with the makeup, you're looking at, you're like, dang, yo, shorty bad, dog. And then she would just wipe half the makeup off of her face, and you're like, oh,
well, I mean,
okay, here's a question. If you loved her when that makeup was on, and then you see it without the makeup, did you truly love her?
Bro,
no.
Here's the one thing that I tell every female that I get involved with. I need to see what you look like when you wake up. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hold on, why you need to see what I look like when I wake up? You're like, because that's the person that I plan on waking up next to every morning. That's the person that I want to fall in love with. Not the, I'm ready to go out now type of person. I need you.
That's the
appearance
you're falling in love with.
Yeah, yes. But the appearance is your natural self. You feel me? That's your natural self. That is what you look like. Everything else falls into it too, like as far as emotions and everything like that. But that person, when you wake up, is you in your natural form.
Well, I want to say this. I would say this, Dennis. I mean, we're on the basis of the makeup is a lie. It's a lie to who? It's not. It technically is not. It's not a lie to the person who's looking at it, because all you're doing is looking at art. But, what I
look at it from an artistic aspect.
I look at it as art, but what I feel like, to me, this is my personal opinion, and I want to keep it that way, is that it's you not being confident or loving yourself. Now, I mean that can be looked at and viewed in different ways, because I feel like if you have to go that deep to change your appearance to look like something else, you definitely don't. What you see in the mirror is not what you're happy with, so you don't love yourself. So the only person you're technically lying to at that moment is yourself, not the other person.
See, but at the same time, that's a double-edged sword too, because you could say the same thing about a dude that gets a haircut. You feel me? They don't like the way that their hair grows naturally, so they go to the barbershop and they get it edged up and all this other type of stuff, and they reform it. So, like, could you say the same thing for that as well?
I think you're getting a little too deep.
No,
because then you can say like, oh well, you don't wash your face. You wash your face, so you don't like your face
That's
the way it
hygienics.
is.
That's different.
And cutting your hair is hygienic too. I mean,
it's a personal,
get bushy,
it's personal opinion.
bumps
But Dennis,
after
I want
a
to say
while.
this. I want to say this.
That's
Not saying for a guy getting a haircut or getting chopped up doesn't alter our appearance in some form or shape. It does. It does. We're not going to take away from that.
Yeah.
But at least when you cut, and I'm going to speed this for ladies. Please don't choke me when you see me for this one. Based on that, it doesn't take away from our appearance as much as the makeup does, because you're actually seeing what we look like just with a little bit of facial hair gone. With the makeup, and I'm just going to base off what I've seen on YouTube, because my wife wear very light makeup because she knows how I feel about too much makeup, so she kind of keep it, every now and then she jump to the deep end of the pool. But if you're going to change your appearance to a point where I can't recognize you, that's something that I personally I don't like, because I like to see I like the beauties. I like natural beauty. I like natural beauty, but I want to say this, Dennis, to each their own. You see how you were talking about like natural beauty? There's some guys out there who love seeing their wife makeup up and changing their appearance. That it's not a turn on for them.
Yeah.
So it comes to each their own. Just as much as I would say this, we just talked about getting cut up, and right. I have a lot of ladies who's looked at me, and told me they love guys with a lot of beard and facial hair on. And I'm like, for real? And most dudes out here think that we always got to get cut up. She's like, don't get me wrong, cut up is nice, but we also like the other side too. So it's basically playing devil's advocate. We like both ways.
Yeah, I've been thinking about cutting my beard off for the longest, and I keep hearing no.
You feel me? But so Dennis, it comes down to personal preference. But I do understand why you feel like if a girl wearing too much makeup is wrong. And I want to make sure I stress that fact.
I didn't say that. I asked for an opinion on that.
I would say that's my opinion. Too much makeup for what I've seen the Asian girls or some of the girls I've done on YouTube, where you can't, where they're unrecognizable, where it's not you.
That I believe is wrong.
That is, to me, that is wrong. But if you have enough makeup just to enhance, like say, you're trying to make sure your eyebrows pop a little bit more, you can do a little eyeliner stuff, make the pink lipstick, because I like pink lipstick.
Like you're enhancing, but when it comes to the point where like you're adding in cheekbones and nose and stuff like that and everything like that, and then you're putting makeup all over it so it looks like it's your real face. Like, what happens when you finally go surprise and that MF is like, nah, bro, like I'm good.
So
like
you're using examples that we all seen on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was more for show.
It is for show.
Have y'all seen something like
show.
that in person?
There's people that actually do
have
that.
You seen
Well,
it in person, because
Trev,
usually
my
that
experience,
is
no.
straight
I've never
online.
I've
I've seen because I don't.
Yeah,
I've seen the super
You
heavy
have to see
makeup
somebody
and
like
stuff like
when they
that.
get home.
That's
and
that's
stuff.
the thing. It was like I have a cousin that, now she bleached her skin, but before she was heavy with the makeup. Like it's so bad that I guess she did it wrong, and it kind of affects your
Messes your
skin,
skin.
Yep.
right?
Right.
So she was afraid to even show her skin after to people, because I think they went to the pool, and when they came back, all that gone. So she's ashamed of that. So those are the extremes out there, but you gotta realize the extremes are rarities too. There's some ladies that's just like when they're dressing up for just going out in the street, going to work, going out that night. It's an accessory to put makeup on.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's same as us guys put an accessory
Cologne.
to put cologne, putting jewelry on, wearing your kicks, because you ain't buying these kicks for yourself. You're buying it for them to look at you. It's kind of the same thing ladies are doing too.
Yeah.
So
if Fade's watching,
I'd say like on the aspect of cologne, yeah, that's the one.
yeah, I've seen it.
The aspect of cologne, I'd say that's for other people, but for all that other stuff, that's stuff that I want. Like, you feel me? Like, as far as like shoes and stuff like that, I don't care what anybody thinks about my shoes. If I like it, I buy it for myself. Now my cologne, I want people to know I smell good. You feel me? Like, and that's my reputation on the line right there.
But
You feel me?
for
Like
all
I
guys,
take that that alone, I take that very seriously. I do not play with my cologne, dog.
For
I
all
guess we all
guys
got
and
different
ladies.
things.
Yeah, but all guys, ladies, here's a perfume and cologne etiquette that we need to announce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to be smelling you 2 miles away.
I don't know, Trevor.
No, but
That's me.
Come on, 2 miles away. Like
That should not be happening.
how I'm just busy doing something, and I know you're in the building. I don't see
Like,
it.
I'm like, I know that smell.
That means it's working.
The way you're supposed to be putting
Nah,
it on
too much.
is when the person like
It's close enough for you.
my okay, I gotta get used to saying this. My fiance could tell my cologne is when she's right here, right by my body, not when she enters the door and said, "Oh, he's home." All right, cool.
Yeah, I say when
See,
they
here's the
enter,
thing. Like for me, I'd
arm's length.
say
Yeah,
it's about a 3 to 4 foot radius for me. Now that's
away from your body.
away from your body.
Oh my
Now
gosh,
the
that's
reason
too
I
much.
say that is because you're not gonna
Do
always
people-
be. Hold on.
I just want to know: do people choke when you walk around?
No,
Wait, you ever heard? Wait, no, you don't hear that.
never.
Okay.
I don't put on
Some
that
people
much.
always have allergies when they're around you. Dennis.
What?
Yeah, that's too much.
You all right?
It's shoot Dennis Day. Go ahead and take your turn.
joke.
Get in line. Get in line. Anyways, like basically, like for me, the reason why I say it's that type of radius is like that's how I operate with mine. When you walk past people,
Dennis,
they
dude.
can smell you, right?
That's right.
You don't need people. Like if you have your
Dennis.
cologne in order for you to smell good. Like, do you have to have somebody on you like
Dennis.
freaking like half a foot away?
The point-
Oh, you actually smell pretty good.
Dennis.
No, if I sit here and I breeze past you and I'm not even near you, and then you're like, damn. Ooh, like that's what I get all the time.
Dennis.
That's what. Let me finish. Let me finish. That's what I'm used to. Like I'll sit here. I remember going into work one day and I seen somebody I haven't seen in a long time, and we're literally about to pass each other. And she's like, "Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?" And we're still walking. It's like, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" That type of stuff. It's, "Oh, yeah, good." And the second I pass her, she's like, "Oh my God, you smell good." Like that right there. She didn't smell me as she was approaching.
What?
She smelled me as I passed her.
I'm gonna take
There's a
that.
difference
Hold on.
between
Can
that.
I say something?
Go on,
Okay,
go on.
Dennis. The
What?
purpose of cologne is to bring someone into your ecosystem.
Your ecosystem.
If somebody's
you're-
3 feet,
you are
3,
your
5 feet
ecosystem.
away, passing by you and they can smell you,
That's too much.
that doesn't make them want to get closer.
If they're any
But
closer than that, they're in my personal space bubble.
Okay.
All right,
here,
don't
here,
you want
here.
women to get into
You're
your
right,
bubble?
Dennis.
That's the whole point.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
No, not. I don't want some dude
Dennis.
walking past me in my personal space
What are you
bubble.
talking about, dudes?
Dennis,
No, I'm talking about people
Cologne's
in
the travel-
general. I'm talking about because I've had dudes that turn around. They're like, "Yo, real talk, no disrespect, but you smell good, dog." Like I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I don't have a problem with that. You feel me? I don't have a problem with that. I don't need you to be half a foot away from me, and then be like, "Oh, yeah, you actually smell
Dennis,
pretty good."
you might be wearing a little too much. You know what? Don't take my word for it. When
I'm
you
not.
go, but get cologne. Talk to the person that's selling you the fragrance.
Exactly.
They're
And I
experts.
listen to what they tell me. And that is my bubble right there.
That's your bubble.
You
That's
feel
right.
me?
Where did
Amen.
you bought this cologne?
Tell me where I buy my cologne.
I'm wondering where
Did you go
buy
to
it?
like an actual fragrance spot, or did
Yeah,
you go
I went
to like?
actual fragrance stores with people that are trained to deal
And they
with
told
this
you
type
that
of situation.
you're supposed to be able to smell somebody from 3 to 5 feet.
I mean, not three. I said, do you know how
I'm
short
sorry,
a foot
Dennis. This is your day to
See,
get it,
how
man.
far are you? How far are you away from me
This
right
is
now?
wild. 5 feet.
He's
Come
not
on,
5
man.
feet away from me. Cien is about
This is
like
about
a look.
2-3 feet.
Nah, this
2.5.
This is about a foot right here. He's
Okay.
a little bit over 3 away from me.
So from that
That's
distance,
fine.
he should be able to smell you.
That's fine.
Well,
That is
look,
fine.
look,
right
Trevor,
there. Trevor, that is fine.
Come on.
No, hold
Say
on.
something.
Wait,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
I want to say this to each your own because my mother like couscous perfume. I'm not sure if anybody know what couscous perfume is. So I guess my mom and Dennis is in the same bracket.
Because you got
She likes strong smelling.
Yeah,
No.
look, I know how to put it on. There's a difference. Now, like what you were referring to is if somebody enters into the room and you're in the back of the room, and the second they walk in, you can smell them. That's not me, and I know people that do that. You feel me? As soon as you get into my personal area, that's when you smell me because my scent radiates.
But where's your
You
personal
can't-
area?
What? My personal space bubble, dog.
Were you saying that's when we smell you?
Yes, as soon as you enter into the area where my body is projecting heat outwards, which is also projecting my scent, that's when you can smell me.
3 to 5 feet.
If I'm in the same room, granted, if I went past that area, my scent might be lingering. But you're not going to walk into the room and be like, oh, he's in the back of the room over there. I know people that wear that much. That's not me. But if you go near the area...
Here's a question.
What's up?
How much bottles of cologne have you bought in a year?
In a year?
Yeah.
Probably about 4.
Oh my gosh. You're using way too much, bro.
How's that way too much?
You're using way too much. 4 bottles a year?
I don't buy another
That's a
one
lot.
when one runs out. I buy it before it runs out so I have something.
So how much do you go through per year?
4.
That's too much.
I have one for every season, dog.
Yeah, my dude, he's on that 4 seasons.
He's on the 4
All right, then.
And I don't see a problem with that, but I don't buy buy supersized bottles. You feel me? The stuff I buy is expensive. I don't buy giant bottles of it all the time unless I personally like it.
Since the stuff
last
you buy
ones that I
shouldn't
did
be spending
buy
that much.
that I spent, I spent a good grip on, that one lasts me a while. But the bottle was bigger. That one lasts me probably about 6 months by itself.
Wow.
I like the two. If you get,
You gotta go to Neiman Marcus, man. Just don't go to buy. Go to talk to because these people are like trained. Like they'll tell you exactly.
Like Secret Service train, bro.
They'll let you know. These people go to classes on fragrances. Like
the same people that I talk to go to classes.
I don't know. These people ain't putting you on game though.
You know who I go to pick out cologne?
Who
is I'm practicing this right, fiance.
That's right, Trevor. As long as she likes it, it's good.
But trust, like me and her stepfather, when he was like, I'm not wearing the same cologne as my daughter's boyfriend. So, but I put something on. I see how she smells. She smells you here, and she smells you like, oh, that does smell nice here. Taste, spray another one on me. She's like, oh, I really like that one. Then I'm like, okay, positive. Then I sprayed another one on me, and she just straight up drooling. I'm like, okay, yeah, buy this. Hurry up, back it up.
Okay,
Stop, check.
But you're speaking about it from a person that actually has a partner, and you're also speaking about it as if she's smelling you within your personal space.
And that
correct?
I'll put
is that correct?
But my personal space will be here. So I don't need 3 or 4.
I don't need everybody trying to get into my
It's just it was meant for one person else.
But Trevor, exactly. I mean, you said the most important thing. I mean, it comes down to what you consider your space. For Dennis, he has 3 to 5 feet.
You like Saturn right now.
5.
You got to say, you know what Saturn's
but it's 3 to 4.
That's you.
But here's the thing. Like, I'm real finicky when it comes to stuff like that. Yes. I don't like people being that close to me if I don't know them. You feel me? And that's right, fine.
But then you're right. And
like if I'm sitting here and I'm vibing with y'all, we cool. Like, y'all sit next to me, I'm cool. But if I don't personally know you, I don't want you next to me. That's how I am.
And then I'm gonna say with 3 to 4 feet,
female?
you will keep some people away with that.
Even if it's a female?
What would it matter if it's a female or not?
Because normally you get cologne to attract females,
not like personal male space.
It's an aphrodisiac, isn't it? It's like
Yeah. But you don't want every female next to you all the time, though. You feel me?
That's right.
Yeah, but
not all the time.
My understanding is that
your version of personal space and his version of personal space and your version of personal space.
Yeah, but my understanding
from mine because I'm a single male. Y'all two are married and you're engaged.
But my understanding
of y'all bubble is a lot smaller than mine.
That's right.
But still, my understanding of fragrances is that you do it to bring people in.
Exactly.
Like so you don't need. I don't need like you somebody
and you catch
over
my
here to.
Scent, how do you walk?
You want to be inviting enough to bring somebody in.
I mean, so
exactly. But do you walk shoulder to shoulder to somebody?
No, but what he's
saying. No, you don't. Like, granted, you have a certain amount of distance between each other.
Dennis, you're right. You're right.
Dennis.
You're right.
You're right.
This is what Downfield is saying. Downfield is just saying if your cologne is 3 to 4 feet, when you get close to you, it's going to become overwhelming because it's strong. If you look, probably, and I want to say this very vaguely, probably if you use something with a little bit more less strength, that will take instead of 3 to 4 feet, but will keep somebody about 1 to 2 feet. That will be a more accurate.
It's more inviting.
So by that aspect, you have to know the type of scent that you're picking. Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah,
which I do. I wear light, airy fragrances. that are basically floral
that goes
and
with
sweet
your
scented.
natural
My stuff
scent.
that go with my exactly, because that's the stuff they teach you when you go to get your stuff. You have to know what agrees with your pheromones and what doesn't. Because if I spray it on myself, I wait about 5 minutes and then I smell it again. That's when I'll know if I need to take it. I don't like super strong smells. You feel me? Because that's going to be something that I'm going to smell when I move myself. You feel me? Like if I spray it on myself and after a while I don't smell it anymore, I'm cool.
Yeah, but
like it faded out for me.
But for Donville is saying for something that's 3 to 4 feet, that is pretty strong.
It's pretty strong. But here's why I said that. When you move air. The air will carry that scent. So if you can't smell it past that, it's all good.
Okay,
like
if you can smell it at the air radius that you like. Oh, sorry. If you can smell it at the radius that you like, right? When it will be stronger once you get closer. You say you're spraying on something inviting. I'm guessing that's what you believe.
That's
your
correct.
smell is.
My scent is inviting because like let's say like I'm sitting here and just for the sake of conversation, like you see some girl that's right there and she's super bad or whatever. You're gonna enter her personal space so she can smell you.
No,
like is that how
that's
your
not the
supposed
point.
to work? Because if you got to be like 2 feet away from her, you're already within. I'm just giving an example. Then you can speak.
Yeah.
If you're like 2 feet away from her, you've already entered her personal space. If I'm sitting here and she's like a good 4 feet away or something like that, and I just drift past her and the air carries my scent and it catches her and she turns around and she's like, hold up, it did its job. I don't have to be like this close to her,
right? Then
or something like
fishing,
that.
Dog.
You feel me? Like there's a technique to it.
I mean, that's right. That's why you're the cologne king.
So
you feel me? Because you buy for a year.
Right.
But that again, that is my personal hobby.
No, it's true.
That is my personal hobby.
You
know what? Hey, bring it all back to
that's basically
what we were saying about the makeup. That's their personal hobby,
which is what I said too.
And we can end on that. Okay?
Y'all always be out to get me, dog. Like,
we
real
can
talk.
end on
Y'all
that.
always be out to get me.
Listen,
I'm done.
Wait,
I'm done.
we haven't gotten to
I'm
the
done.
positive, the ratchet. Come on. That was a ratchet. All right, so Dennis, you got the ratchet.
That's your hobby.
That's your hobby. All right, so let's go to the educational one.
Oh gosh.
Let's get to something.
Hold on. So my clothes was ratchet.
I got love for you.
I did not say that. I did not say that. I just said whichever one that was.
I got love for you, Dennis. Just know that,
So
man.
I'm done talking.
So Dennis, look, so Dennis, that was that. Dennis had the
Leave me
positive-
alone.
as a
Leave me
positive
alone.
thought of
No.
me. That was a positive
I'm
thought
done.
of it.
I'm done. Y'all
All right.
y'all do y'all positive and y'all whatever.
But Dennis, that was the most. I would say the most informational part of the week.
Yeah,
so.
of course. That's why y'all laughing right now.
No, we're not.
I ain't
Double is laughing, yo.
Yo,
I
end
can't
it.
hold it in
And Dennis,
sometimes.
I'm gonna tell you what you
sorry.
said made sense, but it's to each their own. You know, that's how
That's why I'm telling y'all. Y'all speaking from the perspective of people that have partners.
That's
I don't
right.
have a partner.
But Dennis,
Y'all are in the business of courting.
so Dennis, I'm
so
saying-
like as far as how far my bubble is.
Hey, I don't care no more. Dennis, I do not care no more. Please.
I don't care anymore either. But I'm not gonna sit here and be the running butt of a joke.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, One Pump Podcast. And here's the more positive
and educating the thought of the week.
Here's all that.
Dennis got the information.
Take each his own.
Yeah, to each his own. Now,
Take each his own.
Don't tag me in, guys.
Don't tag me.
I got this.
Here we go.
I got this. Positive thought of the week, guys. If you don't believe in yourself, no one can believe in you. For you to be great, you got to start with thinking great. One Pop Podcast. We out.
Peace.